Hey everybody, I'm back. I'm gonna try to do a triple upload tonight, but I've got all my stuff from the Amazon haul, and I am going to get that done so I can get to the Dollar General stuff, which I got from multiple Dollar Generals. I'll usually go around to the other ones to see if they have other stuff, and they had quite a bit. So, it's gonna be a bit of a longer one, but this one will be about the same as the first one. But yeah, um, let me just get into it. These are two separate transactions, but still. Um, Rudy Ray Moore, Human Tornado. This is the second film in the Dolomite trilogy. The first being, of course, Dolomite, and the third being I can't remember what the third one is, but it's a trilogy, I think. But yeah, I don't own the first Dolomite, but I did want to get the second one because this is like the only way you can get it on Blu-ray. Um, I remember seeing Dolomite. It's not a great movie by like objective standards, but it's one of those that you watch and you can see what um effect it had on culture. And I do want to see this because apparently it's more of like a normal movie, and the first Dolomite is kind of just fucking around. But yeah, Human Tornado, spontaneous. Um, I actually like this actress, Catherine Langford, and yeah, it was cheap, so wanted to pick it up. I like the idea of the story. Just kids in the high school just start exploding, and then these two like fall in love with each other, and they're being like, "Oh yeah, if the world's gonna end, let's just be together as long as we can." So, sounded nice. This one I just saw the cover and I was like, that this has to be gold. Twist with Michael Caine and Lena Headey. Um, it was also super cheap, so that's why I got it. Apparently, Lena Headey is the villain, which is perfect. And yeah, random Lionsgate movie. It's a new take on Oliver Twist, of course. I'm gonna watch it. Traders looks like an interesting movie. I don't know any of the actors in this. Apparently, this is British. It looks, I mean, the actors look British, to be honest. But yeah, yeah, it's a pretty, yeah, it's like a thing about like a kind of a cult type of thing. Sounded fun or interesting at least. El Chicano. Uh, Basically, this is supposed to be a Hispanic take on like a revenge movie or like a cleaning up the streets movie, like a cop's brother dies, I think. Yeah, supposed suicide, and he has to uncover what happened. George Lopez is also in this. But yeah, really wanted to see it. Joe Carnahan produced it, which is interesting, and co-wrote it, which co-wrote it with the director, so very curious. And this is from another order. Uh, in Dreams, pretty good cast. Annette Bening, Aidan Quinn, Stephen Ray, Robert Downey Jr. Um, Directed by Neil Jordan. Sorry if it froze there. Neil Jordan, who did The Brave One, I think, with Jodie Foster. And this seems to be kind of a horror movie about a serial killer played by Robert Downey Jr. Sounded interesting, and it was super cheap, as was this. Interrogation with Edge. I don't know much about wrestling. I've tried to watch a certain wrestling movie. It was Countdown with Kane, and the only reason I watched it was because Catherine Isabel was in it, and I couldn't get through the first 10 minutes. I think I got bored. That was back when I got bored of movies quicker. Sorry about that. But yeah, this one was super cheap too, and I don't know, maybe it'll be worth something. I mean, like movie watching wise. Crooked and Narrow. I like the idea of the story. Daughter of a jailed ex-cop uh, tries to on purpose get caught to get revenge for something that happened to her dad. It's definitely a lower budget film, but yeah, want to give it a chance. Rin, Daughters of Nemazine. It was pretty cheap too, and I've wanted to watch this anime again for a while. I remembered really liking it and thinking it was pretty stomach turning, to be honest. But in a good way. It it was just really hard to watch at many points. Um, but I remember really liking the story, liking the characters. The voice acting was pretty good. Yeah, Skulls trilogy with Joshua Jackson, Paul Walker in the first one. Funny thing about this, I semi recently watched a movie called The Fraternity starring Robin Dunn, and it was about like an evil fraternity thing, and there being like an underground like thing about that. Robin Dunn stars in Skulls 2, which is also about an evil fraternity. So I guess he just looks like an evil fraternity kid or a kid who would be in a fraternity. But yeah, been curious about these. It was $6 for all three movies. Um, Issue is they are all on one Blu-ray, but I'm fine. I'm better with two movies being on or three movies being on one Blu-ray disc than three movies being on like a DVD. But yeah, just wanted to have these. And these last three are newer releases. Memory with Liam Neeson. Been collecting the Liam Neeson movies because I love them. I've heard up and down things about this. Um, but it's also Martin Campbell, who directed one of my favorite Bond films, Goldeneye. Um, he also directed Edge of Darkness, which is I think a very underrated Mel Gibson film. But yeah, also The Protege I have over there, pretty good action movie. But yeah, I do want to see this. Given that this is about Alzheimer's in a way, I thought that would be an interesting thing for Liam Neeson to tackle, and I love seeing Liam Neeson's films. The Whale, I know. I I I have not seen this yet. Apparently, it is a heartbreaking movie. Apparently, Brendan Fraser is fantastic in it, and yeah, I am definitely looking forward to seeing it to see how good he is because the last movie I saw him in was The Poison Rose, and even in that, he gave like a really fun performance. So he seemed to be having fun with it. So I'll be glad to see him returning to movies after all the abuse he went through in Hollywood, the sexual stuff that happened with him. He did not deserve that. And fuck you, Dwayne Johnson, because he allowed that shit to happen. That's why I hate Dwayne Johnson so much. Part of why, and also that he's fucking boring. Um, Last one I have, Plane. Gerard Butler and Mike Coulter from Evil. He was also in Black and Blue as the uh, leader of the like underground gang. Um, it's nice to see him in a bigger role like this in a movie. Um, but yeah, I love Gerard Butler. Law Abiding Citizen, I think, I think it's still worth a watch. But here's my issue. I've quoted so many times lines from it. I think it is a fantastic film up until, if anybody's seen the film, the scene with the cars exploding. Because I think that from that moment on, it feels like somebody stepped in and messed with the director's vision because everything that happens after that makes no sense at all. Up until then, like an hour and 15 minutes into the movie, or an hour and 10, something like that, hour 5, somewhere around that. I forgot how long the movie is. It completely fucks up until the end. It's still a good movie, I guess, but that ending really fucks with the movie, and it does not make any sense given what they've shown before. But I did want to see this. It got a bit cheaper, so I sprung for it, and I love Gerard Butler, so what am I gonna do? But yeah, that was the Amazon haul. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. If y'all saw any movies that y'all have seen, want to give me some thoughts about it, say them down in the comments, like the video, whatever. And movie review next door, out.